Hi, my name is Alana, and this is the INC Capital Citizenship and Residency by Investment YouTube channel. I'm going to expand a little bit on the Portugal Golden Visa program for you. We get a lot of questions on how the family structuring works and who can be included in an application. So in the first place, as a main applicant, you can include your spouse, which can be a same-sex spouse, or it can be somebody that you've been in a long-term committed relationship with. So you have to be able to prove that relationship if you are not legally married or not in a civil partnership. You are allowed to include your children, and there's no limitation on children. There also isn't a particular age restriction, although it becomes a little bit harder to renew residency permits after 25 years because there's just more scrutiny on this process. So what typically happens is when you start the application, your children have to be single, they have to be financially dependent on you, and they have to be full-time registered students somewhere. And they have to maintain that status through the whole temporary residency period. So at application stage, at the first renewal after 2 years, at the second renewal after 4 years of residency. And they only can be allowed to stop being students, potentially get married, not be dependent on you at the time that you apply for permanent residency or for citizenship, because these files then become individual files. So you're no longer a family unit when you apply for permanent residency. So that's an important distinction to make if your kids are already a little bit older. And in some cases, you might be concerned about how long they're going to remain students. So there's different ways in which we can include them. So just keep that in mind. The age is not so much an issue, but the financial dependence, full-time student, and still being single is important for the first few years of the program. You can also include your parents, and that is both your parents and your spouse's parents, because Portuguese is very focused on family values. So it's a program that's always allowed for family inclusion. So you can include your parents if they are financially dependent on you and over the age of 55. Once they reach the age of 65, the financial dependence requirement completely falls away. So if your parents are older than 65, they don't have to prove that they are financially dependent on your. Portuguese law allows us to include your parents. So everybody in the family can be included in the application. You can't go horizontal, which is interesting. We often get asked if I can include a sister or a brother, but you can't. You can only do this vertical. So you can include parents-in-law, and you can include your kids. You can also include, for instance, if you're married to your second wife, you can include your second wife's children from a first marriage. So as long as they are legally part of your family unit and financially dependent on you, it's a very easy process to follow. So if you like this information, you'd like to see more of what we talk about, please do like and subscribe to the channel, and have a look at the other videos and the other topics where we discuss different aspects of the Portugal Golden Visa program.